Welcome back. This time I break out my Custodes again, to face Chaos Space Marines of the debauched and perverted persuasion. We rolled No Mercy, the nice and simple Eternal War mission where you get 1 point for each enemy unit killed, and Hammer and Anvil deployment. Let's take a look at the army rosters. So I have a few additions to my Custodes force. I'm trying out the Telemon for the first time, and I also have a Vindicare assassin to try out. I had faced a Vindicare a couple of times prior, and they're just so frickin' cool that I wanted to try one for myself. My Warlord is the unfinished biker in the center with the golden base, the addition of which gives me enough to field 3x3 bikers. The Slaneshi Marine Force deploys like so, with the Land Raider containing Terminators at the back, Chaos Lord next to it, Marines on the terrain, Demonettes behind, Forge Fiend in a forward position on the right, and the Obliterators in deep strike. The veterans are in the Rhino. I finished deploying first but didn't get the first turn. This picture is actually after my first turn movement. To summarize Chaos Turn 1, everything stays still, and the only other thing to note is that I lose a jet bike to shooting. Not too bad, then. In my turn 1, the Telemon, just out of shot here, does exactly what it's supposed to do, and blows up the Rhino, leaving the Chosen exposed. The Chosen that managed to crawl from the wreckage are then all cut down, in a withering hail of bolter fire. Finally, my Vindicare assassin, perched atop a building way at the back, can draw a beat against the enemy Warlord. The Vindy gets a few wounds through, but the Warlord survives. So at the end of battle round 1, I destroyed 2 units and scored first strike, whereas Chaos haven't scored yet. So it's 3-0 to the Custodes. Chaos Marines turn 2. The Obliterators deep strike onto this hill, and everything else stays put. Psychic is uneventful, I believe, but shooting? Oh boy. The Obliterators shoot twice, and completely wipe out the unit of jet bikes which was closest to them.
Oh my God!
My turn 2, and I just have to press forwards again, with everything except the Telemon obviously, and Trajan, who's giving it re-rolls.
Hell yeah.
I'm absolutely shitting myself about those Obliterators, so I direct quite a bit of fire at them. Unfortunately they're toughness 5 or something and have a 2+ save and cover. Hey, not exactly a profile I can complain about, considering the stats of my guys. But anyway, only the Telemon can really scratch them, and it only manages to kill 1. I fear it won't be enough. I think I even fire the Vindicare at them in a panic, but he misses. Elsewhere, I chip a few Marines away from the top of the big rock, with an obscene amount of bolter fire. I think I killed a couple last turn too, so there's only 4 left now. Well, no points for me this turn. Chaos destroyed a unit of bikes, so it's 3-1 to me at the end of battle round 2. Chaos turn 3, and the Terminators disembark from the Land Raider. There's quite a lot of firepower now about to be directed at me. The Obliterators wipe out the 2 bikes which had nipped up here to replace the unit they slaughtered last turn. I think they fire twice again. Then, my other unit of 3 bikes just can't withstand the combined fire from the rest of his army, and they are blown to smithereens.
A shocking scene.
One of the nastiest things has been, in fact, the Forge Fiend, which I didn't expect. Each turn, he's using the stratagem on it to reroll hit and wound rolls, and it fires a lot of 2 damage shots, so every failed save hurts like frickin' hell. Anyway, the only jet bike I have left now is my Warlord. I have my 3 units of foot guard alive and relatively unscathed, but I don't hold out much hope for them if they have to withstand another turn of shooting. Trajan is frickin' miles away cause he's been babysitting the Telemon. This is gonna be tricky. My turn 3. My warlord heads for the Hellbrute at the bottom there, and my foot guards all press forwards as much as possible. There are 4 left to try and deal with the obliterators, and an unscathed unit of 3 in the center just south of the Red Rock. In shooting, I realize my Vindicare can still draw a bead on his wounded warlord, so this absolute champ takes aim, and manages to kill him.
Permission to shout bravo at an annoyingly loud volume, sir.
I guess either my opponent had forgotten to move him out of line of sight, or there just wasn't anywhere suitable he could hide. My warlord then completely wipes out a unit of demonettes which was skulking behind this rock, with his hurricane bolter. My opponent just rolled like crap for his saves. This unit of guardians slays a Terminator, and finally the Telemon takes aim at the Land Raider. It rolls shockingly poorly though, and only causes 3 wounds somehow. In the charge phase, things start to look up. My unit of 3 guards make a long charge into the Terminators, with the help of a CP reroll. My warlord charges the Hellbrute, and 1 unit of guards at the top make their charge into the obliterators.
This is turning into a lovely evening.
In combat, my warlord easily dispatches the Hellbrute, the guards kill 2 Terminators, leaving just 2 left, and 1 of the obliterators is also cut down. At the end of battle round 3 then, Chaos are on 3 points, but I managed to score 4 more this turn, putting me on 7. 2 from killing the Chaos Lord Warlord, 1 from the Demonettes, and 1 from the Hellbrute. Chaos Marines turn 4. The unpainted Hellbrute up here clambers up the hill and, with the help of the Obliterator, eviscerates the 2 guards. The Brute is still at the bottom of the hill only because it was too wobbly to perch it on the top. The Forge Fiend slays a guard from the other unit. Over here, the Terminators stay in combat with the guards for some reason, do a couple of wounds, then get butchered in return. The Land Raider proves ineffectual. I can't remember what it fired at, probably the Telemon, but it does little to no damage. 1 more point for Chaos, then, putting them on 4. My turn 4. My warlord flies up here to try and finish off this unit of Marines, and my guards prepare to assault the Land Raider. Here's a wider shot of the battlefield. The solitary guard, here, decides that discretion is the better part of valor, and beats a hasty retreat back into the ruins. You can see that Chaos still have a fair bit of their army left, but even so, they look set to take some losses this turn from which it may then be impossible to recover.
Now what would be the odds of that?
The Telemon takes aim at the Land Raider once more. And this time it comes good, hitting and wounding with all its shots, doing 12 wounds and leaving it with just 1 wound remaining. It's then a simple matter for the guards to charge it and strip its last wound away. My warlord also slays the 4 Marines. That's 2 more points then, making the score 9-4 in my favor. Chaos turn 5. The Forge Fiend, Marines, and Hellbrute all fire at my guards and wipe them out. The remaining unit of Demonettes skips towards them, but aren't needed in the end. Looks like a few have been whittled down by the odd bit of bolter fire over the preceding turns, as there are only 4 left. There's nothing else to note about this turn. In my turn 5, my warlord moves across to the heart of the enemy force. In shooting, he destroys the Demonettes, and the Telemon wipes out the last Obliterator. My warlord charges the Hellbrute, but doesn't kill it. He takes a few wounds in return. So, 2 more points for me this turn, making the score 11-5 in my favor. I only have a total of 6 more points on the table, so my opponent would have to table me to win, meaning he'd have to kill Trajan and the Telemon.
Not with 10,000 men could you do this.
Trajan long ago hid out of line of sight behind a massive building, anyway. Chaos therefore concedes. So after taking 3 turns of shooting, 2 of which were hugely punishing, I thought I hadn't a hope in hell of triumphing. But the sheer resilience and efficiency of my remaining forces proved to be enough to overwhelm the foul heretics right at the end. I guess this mission favors resilient armies with a small amount of drops anyway. I was also mightily pleased with the performance of my 2 new additions, the Telemon and Vindicare. Well, that about does it.